Well, hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite, Ralph talking to you straight from our show, Apple Bites, where we take out a bite out of the apple and share it with you. And tonight we got a beautiful conversation going on because we're already happening in the green room. And look at that. Shannon's already being spooky and disappearing.
Oh, well.
I was waiting for it as soon as she brought the puppets. So, folks, we're going to jump into this because it's a great conversation, and we're going to start off by saying, Iron Lung has done something, and it feels to me like Hollywood's a little nervous right now. Rachel, I've liked what you've been saying out there, so why don't you start this off, so we can start this conversation going.
Where do I begin to talk about this movie? Oh my gosh! So, I'll hear a little bit of an echo, but yeah, I mean, Iron Lung is a movie made by Markiplier, who is a YouTuber, who, if you're on YouTube, you probably know just by sheer, I don't know, it's just popularity. Guy has 38 million subscribers and counting. And after being a gaming YouTuber for almost a decade, maybe a decade plus, has pushed into independent film, which he does have, I believe, like an Emmy nomination or something for some YouTube premium stuff that he did a bunch of years back. So it's not like this was a completely new endeavor to him, but the project is completely independently financed and distributed. He wrote, directed, edited, and rendered the VFX himself in a server room that he made in his bathroom, as I learned. And there are pictures of that online, so you can look it up. But yeah, so, I mean, why I have the audacity to talk about this is that I've been a filmmaker for the last decade, at least. And for me personally, after that entire decade trying to crawl my way out of the hole of independent film to try and start working on studio films, both as an actor and as a filmmaker, it's enough is enough. We're here to make movies. We're here to tell stories, regardless of what format that you want to tell a story in. This movie's doing something for people and creators, which YouTube in general has already kind of opened a door, but the floodgates are now open, I think, for people to realize their potential and the ability to access this kind of stuff. I mean, funding be damned. But it's possible. It's a lot more possible than you think.
And I feel like we've been hearing for a while because Hollywood kept wanting us to think that we needed to have studios and this and that to make things happen. But the indie market, or us indie creators, have been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
We've been making our own films with minimum money and trying to get it out there. And I feel like it's a constant, well, you can't do that. I'm like, no, we can do it. We just can't spend as much money as you guys can.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And I know Lee, you're an indie filmmaker here, and you've done your own thing, and you've dealt with budgets and whatnot. Do you feel like it's gotten better or worse?
Well, I feel like I don't know if an indie, but I mean, was it Iron Lungs $3 million? I mean, that's hard to come up with, right? But I mean, I would say like it's been pretty great with digital, right? Like everything's awesome with digital, right? You can make something but my issue I think now is that it keeps on getting better and better, and like how am I going to get onto that 4K camera, right? And like make sure I get something just as good and quality for I guess the distribution part of it, because you get to a point where you're thinking like, okay, I'm going to make a small movie. It's going to be, I don't know, like 50 grand if you're lucky, or even less, I mean, you could do something for 10,000, 30,000 bucks, but then it's like, I have to get it on Amazon or I have to get it on YouTube. And is that quality going to shift to the next space, right? Like, is that high quality going to go through the whole process? That's my challenge for these things, So it's like, it's easy to make the film, but then you got to kind of keep up with the technology a little bit and hope that you could get a good rental on your equipment,
Can you elaborate on that a little bit, actually? Because I mean, I've seen some like decent films made on like lower quality stuff, but that kind of added to the story that they decided to choose that low quality equipment. So when you mean that, do you mean like translating from like a YouTube to like
It's a big,
cinematography, or not
yeah, like a
cinematography,
YouTube to the
cinema,
big,
like a movie theater.
right, to a movie theater, right? Like it depends on how you're shooting it. Do you want to see it like for a small, like yeah, for YouTube, you could, it's probably fine, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but if you want it on your big screen television, it might be a little bit grainy. You're not sure, right? Like so that's stuff you just got to keep in mind when you're doing it. Like yeah, I know guys did it on their cell phone and they put out stuff, right? But you know, but there's somebody in the background trying to enhance that, you know, and get the best quality out of it. So it's just stuff to keep in mind when you're shooting, you know, or actually at the end product. So it's to me that's something I've kept in mind from the beginning to the end. I write and I've directed and kind of produced, and you know, it's like each
Yeah.
it's like right, like that's what you do, right? Indie filmmaker, you know, you do it all,
Yep.
you know. And once in a while, you know, I'm not an actor per se, but I'll do the background, you know, be an extra or something.
Yeah.
But you know, you try to get as much in as possible and as quality as you can. Like I've done you know, a couple of features, some like, you know, one kind of like shelved because of music. I can't go too crazy into that story, but that was
Ooh,
you
licensing.
know, yeah, licensing.
Yeah. Okay.
The director I was with did not want to change his music, and you know, and we shot that on 35 millimeter. You know, so it's kind of right. It's like one of those things where you know you get into these adventures. You know, but yeah, I mean, is it easier? I think it's still this. You know, it's filmmaking's just as hard as it was ever, except for the fact that you do get the digital. You don't have to
Yeah.
buy you don't have to buy film and have it developed, you know, and
Mm.
do right the real kind of stuff or
Mhm.
whatever. So the digital aspect's great, but then you start to think about colorization, right? Like, and then you start to think about a bunch of other things with the sound, right? Like that's like your number one thing. So at least as far as I'm concerned, I
Yeah, because
feel
I
like
can see like what you're saying it right there, Lee. Is it's like you can have a video and it has bad quality video, but if it has bad sound, a lot of people will be like, okay, that's enough of this shit.
right, yeah, that's like a whole thing, right? So
Correct.
even though like the tech is better and like you can get these little mics and you know, yeah, and just
Oh
like
yeah,
have them.
definitely. Now,
Yeah, you know, it's like great, you know, it's awesome, but you know, like, will it blow up to what you want it to be? And those are the things I think start to think about now as a new filmmaker, you know.
Yeah.
I
But
gotta say, it's just interesting to me. And we were talking about this in the green room. I don't understand why these big companies they decide to make bad quality stuff. And then they let you go, well, you're not watching. I'm like, yeah, because it's bad quality stuff. Don't give me this, you're not watching. Because I feel like they're constantly pushing the fact that you're a part of the fandom. So you should be watching whatever dredge we put in front of you.
Consume
yeah,
without questioning. Consume
Exactly.
without
right,
question.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it's being spoon fed basically.
It's
That's what media is. Yeah. Right now,
Yeah.
at least, like social media is a lot of spoon-fed stuff, curated, spoon-fed.
Yeah, I just don't know how many times I could see the same, you know, little clip over and over again. I mean, I know it's in my algorithm, but like, why do I have to see the same thing over? You know,
Are
you know,
you
there's
watching it?
so no, I'm not really. You know, like I'll watch it
Good.
one time and then I'll like be like, what's going on here? You know, I don't need to see Jon Snow every 5 seconds. You know, it's crazy.
And it's funny because they're the first ones to say that nobody wants to see original stuff. Yet they keep pushing you stuff that's not original.
Right. Well, it's like all trending. It's like right, like you got the new whatever new Game of Thrones things on, right? I forgot the name
Yeah.
of it, but you know, so then all of a sudden you see a whole ton of clips of just not just that, but every other show that's related to it. You know,
yeah.
so I don't know. It's like I saw
I
this.
I will defend A Night of Seven Kingdoms, so I will defend that one. That
It might be good. I don't. You
no,
know, I
no,
just.
no. Just give me a hard time.
But I mean, I'm sure you don't want to see the little kid like you know doing the same thing 5 times
No,
in a row.
no, yeah. No, I totally get where you're coming from. It is, yeah, like I think they get the algorithm screwed up so bad. I mean, I like you
Yeah.
said, I if I want to see A Night of Seven Kingdoms, I don't want to go back and revisit Jon Snow and revisit House of the Dragon or revisit anything of that where I've already seen it. I want to just give me something new and press on because there's other things you can throw in the algorithm that are similar but
Yeah.
don't do the same thing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, how much do I
But
need
the
to
whole
see?
concept though is they want you watching what they want you to watch.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, and I always go back to Star Wars because that's where they messed up the biggest.
That's where you got onto me the other day.
Yeah, that last three movies, and that's where I got this idea where they want to give you whatever, and you have to watch it, and I'm like, no, like, dudes, I have to say it was the simplest thing in the world for them to go, let's showcase the three heroes, bring them back, and then from there we can go and move on to the new stuff, because then we've given the audience what they want. We've given them Luke, Han, and Leia, and we brought the whole thing back, and now we can do the new story. Now we can kill them off. Now we can do this. Now we can do that. But they decided we're gonna take the three heroes, and we're not ever gonna let them put together, because we're gonna kill off one of the heroes in the first movie.
Yeah,
and then kill them off in the second movie. And I mean, you're preaching to the choir on that one.
No, yeah, I'm with you. And Lando, last episode or something. I don't even remember.
Yeah, 10 minutes of the last episode.
Yeah,
man. The
problem is still give him a funeral. It's like, come on, like, give me a break.
And they rehash the same stories. In Force Awakens, you have A New Hope.
Episode what, 8 or 7 was episode 1 backwards.
Yeah.
Episode 9 or 8, whatever it is, I don't know the numbers. I'm so sick of them. Was essentially episode 5 backwards. It's just like, come on, it's ridiculous.
I think the real conversation about this is actually how, like, regurgitated media is right now. How it's kind of like, oh, we have popular IPs, and we don't really want to, like, we don't know how to create anything new and fulfilling. Like, I look at Disney in general right now, and, like, all of the live action remakes and all of the, like, dream inspiration stories and stuff, all that writing is from, like, what, 20, 30 years ago?
30 years
like,
ago,
yeah.
Right? Plus, and it's like, where is that same kind of motivational writing now in anything else that's coming out? Like, I didn't...
Well, I think it's cyclical, Rachel. I mean, if you look at Disney, right, and it was like groundbreaking in the 50s and the 60s, and then all of a sudden Walt Disney dies. You don't see Mickey Mouse, I think, for almost 25 years.
Yeah.
And like no movies at all. It was ridiculous. Nothing. Then they came back with the animation sequences like in the mid 80s, and it was phenomenal. Now they're at a point now where they're afraid to do anything. Exactly. They don't want to do anything different because they feel they're going to lose money on it. If they don't make $10 billion in the first weekend, it's a loss, and they're in trouble.
But they're losing money on the rehash of the.
Exactly.
I mean, you just lost $170 million on Snow White.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I think they start of seeing like some movies that aren't necessarily like comic book movie kind of things, like, I don't know, one battle after another, as much as you're starting to see it again a little bit
because
right,
they need to do something. They need to do something, but also, like, again, these movies have been in development for years at this point, and now they're just kind of coming out. And it's like,
but at least it's a little bit more refreshing, even though it's been taking a while, right? Like, it's something.
Is.
I like Wonder Man. I thought Wonder Man, it started slow. And I gave it like 5 episodes before I liked it, so.
Yeah, I know. I need to watch that one.
I've heard good things about
You're an
Wonder
actor.
Man.
You got to watch it.
It takes a while to get into because it's really slow, and it's just like, okay.
But I feel like they did something different with Wonder Man. They actually they actually went back and go, let's do something.
Right.
Let's take a risk.
There it is. There's the word. Risk. Risk.
Let's take a risk. They don't like taking risks. They want a sure thing now, which is what Paul was saying. They want a sure thing.
Let's take they're going to bring out Rockford Files again.
Oh yeah,
with David Boreanaz. You tried that with Quantum Leap.
That was
Magnum PI.
That was the same thing. Magnum. I watched like 10 minutes of Magnum PI. Turned it off.
No,
like, come on, you can't do it. I mean,
there's no risk.
I don't know. Wasn't like Hawaii Five-0 successful? The reboot of that. I thought that
it did a couple of years, but that show was done differently, and it came out at a different time.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It came out before all this craziness.
I'm so old school. I mean, Jack Lord, Tom Selleck, even what was his name from Quantum Leap? I can't remember. I'm losing my mind.
Scott Bakula.
Scott Bakula. I mean, it's just like those are like icons, and it's like, you start redoing those guys. Like, I don't know. You compare. You instantly compare to them.
Yeah.
If it doesn't match up, forget it. I don't watch it.
They're funny though. because as much as they going with nostalgia, the real nostalgia would be they continue the story. They continue Magnum. Tom Selleck comes back. They do something new with it, and at the same time, they do something old with it. That's what you do. What they do is like, we're gonna take what you loved, we're gonna put it in the mud, step on it, and you're gonna like it.
I'd rather you just name it something else.
Exactly.
Because nobody at that point, some of the people are not even going to know. I mean, Quantum Leap would have been a dead giveaway, but you could have called Hawaii Five-0 something else, and it would have been just another procedural show.
Right.
Well, I hate to say it, but I've given up on Star Trek as well. I watched 10 minutes of Academy. I had to turn it off. It was so bad. Sorry. I'm sorry if I'm getting anybody upset, but I don't know. I'm a big Trekkie. I love, Next Generation. I like the original series. I'll even go Deep Space Nine, but forget it. I had to turn it off. So.
Listen, Star Trek Voyager is on here at this house 24/7 because my wife loves Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah, I mean, those are classic TV. I mean, it's like original stories. They weren't trying to remake something or just do something to be different, or jazz up to the next generation stuff. It's just like, I don't know.
Well, it looks like Dash got somebody to watch something here because he goes, Night of Seven Kingdoms. I had no interest, but since Dash is my brother, I'm going to check it out.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it's not as, I don't know what the word. It's not like Game of Thrones, and it's not like House of Dragon. It stands on its own. You don't have some of the other stuff that like Game of Thrones has, but I'm just trying to. I'm trying not to break I'm trying not to break the cussing rule.
Well, I think Game of Thrones and House of Seven Dragons, it reminded me very much of a Shakespearean play.
Right.
It was a lot of dialogue, a lot of talking, a lot of mechanisms going on with the politics. This is like grittiness. This is like get in your face and like let's battle as a knight. I love it. It's great.
Like yesterday's episode, I posted.
I wanted. It's like I was so pissed that they had that whole spans going on, and like, so I'm not gonna say anything else because it's good. But I just wish I had more. I wish it was 2 hours instead of an hour.
Thank you very much.
I had heard that last night's episode. I haven't seen it, but somebody told me you have to watch it now because of last night's episode.
It's really good. I just wish it was 2 hours instead of one. Put it that way.
It's intense, and again, it's the story. It's more about the two people that you're wanting to watch. Where Game of Thrones and House of Dragon, you're from 17 different points of view. Where in this show, this show, you have 2 points of view, which are dunk and egg. So I think that's why this one is succeeding, where the other ones where they were, not that House of Dragon and Game of Thrones didn't succeed. But as you started going on into seasons, you hear the rumblings and the grumblings of, oh, here we are again. Where, and this was into the, we're into the 5th episode, and each episode has stepped up its game. Okay. And you don't have any filler. You don't have a episode where you're like, I don't need to have that to tell me the story. I every part of this is step after step after step telling you the story, which is good.
No, it's good. I recommend it.
Yeah, I did too.
Interesting. It's so interesting. Like, I have no addition to this commentary because I really struggle to watch things right now, and it kind of comes from the mistrust from what studios are putting out, like across TV and film. Like, I'm really trying to make an effort to watch more things, but like, I feel like anything new that comes out, like it's Wonder Man. Like, I don't even know the title. Like, I was told to go watch it, and I'm like, is it really good? And it's just, it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that we have studio mistrust, especially when we're trying to develop independent film. Because, like, why would you watch my story versus like studio stories? Like, what's gonna sell me and my effort more than what's going on? But I feel like it comes from this mistrust that's happening right now, especially with people like, I don't know, in my age bracket, I guess. I don't know. I know people in my generation are very like, it's a shared experience, I guess.
Well, I think it just comes down to the fact is, do I want to waste an hour or not in my life?
Exactly.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Do I want to check this out? But it's funny though, because I feel like Hollywood has gotten to the point, and it goes with what Rachel's saying. It's gotten to the point now where we're gonna do what we want to do, and we don't care what you're gonna say, but we're gonna make believe like we care what you're gonna say. You know, and that's the same thing that I was talking about with Star Wars. The same thing. It's like in Marvel Comics right now. The fans keep telling them they want Peter Parker married, they want Mary Jane and them back together, and they go, "That's not what you want. We're gonna tell you what you want, and it's not that." And then they get upset when all of a sudden the Ultimate Universe has them married, and that book is doing well, and they start making excuses on why that book is doing.
That was the right. Even the writer was at New York Comic Con. He's like, no, you don't want that. You don't want him. Yeah, I mean, they're in the green or the room with him, the hall. They're standing up, and every question was when they get married. He's like, you don't want that, and he got mad and walked out, if I'm not mistaken, because that's the only question he was being asked.
Oh wow!
And he wanted to talk about something that nobody wanted to hear about.
That's very interesting. I wonder what has, like, a lot of this, like, storytelling is all about each individual's, like, perspective on, like, a set of characters, and then as someone who consumes that narrative, we develop our own perspective and blah blah blah. I'm so curious why he is so unwilling to hear or entertain that idea. Like, who really shut down that angle?
I think it's a four-letter word: ego.
Yeah, I mean,
it is, but at the same time, Marvel, the company, has decided that Peter Parker needs to stay a teenager. He doesn't grow up. He doesn't go to college. He doesn't get married. He's just a forever teenager.
That's why I got sick of those movies for a while. You know, it's like, how many times I need to see the same origin story over, you know, with this guy. You know, it's well, you know, every couple of years, you know, whichever. It was more refreshing to have it when Tom Holland did it, just because it was a different piece. You didn't have to go through the whole origin piece.
Yeah,
but that's why they're keeping him young. That way they can still market Tom Holland. They can still market the younger Peter Parker. I get it, but I mean, they've already told us that the movie world and the comic world are two different things. So what does it matter at that point? If that was your mission statement, was the MCU is different than Marvel Comics, then it doesn't matter what goes on in the comics and what goes on in the movies.
But that's always been the case in the comics anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like with the multiverse and everything. Like, there's all these different.
Right.
Comic is a different universe. Like.
Yeah, I think they tried to keep it.
What you're saying is really funny, because it gives them the freedom to actually give the audience what they want.
Whoa! Well, wild concepts! Oh my goodness!
I look at Loki, and I liked first season of Loki, but then I had to turn off the second season of Loki because I think it just got too serious about itself. It's like, we got to keep protecting the sacred timeline. It's like, why? This is a comic book. Why do we have to protect anything? Let's blow everything up. Anyone who dies is going to get resurrected again anyway. It's a comic book. What's the problem? How many times they blew up the world and it came back? It's like, get real.
I feel like the studios don't like the multiverse, because, you know, they're like, oh, which doesn't make any sense to me, because they want to do whatever they want, and that's the perfect excuse, multiverse.
Well, they want to do whatever they want in terms of, like, ensuring income, which, like, I want to jump back to Risk for just a second, because, like, that is something that is so severely missing from Hollywood and TV and everything. Yeah. And it's so wild, because you think, like, I watched, you guys know producer Patrick? He's like a TikTok producer. He just kind of updates on you know, the world of film, basically.
Right.
And he put out a video talking about how, like, studios are not greenlighting projects because they don't trust that they're going to, like, bring in money. And I think that's crazy, because, like, with all of these, like, you know, the Warner Brother deal and everything, or the whatever, you know, that whole thing, you have billions of dollars. How many movies is that? That if successful or even failing, like, could bring in so much. Like, you could do so many movies. You could tell so many stories. You could hire so many people.
Yep.
Like, you'd think that when you have more money that you could take more risks. And instead they're just trying to ensure more billions? Like that drives me crazy as an independent, because I like, oh, God, you could make so much. You could do so much. The freedom, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, Hollywood never really took risks in the beginning anyway. You know,
No.
I mean, you talk
Well,
about by the time the
in the
70s came
beginning,
around.
Yeah.
Well, even in the fifth, right? So by the time like Spielberg came, that's when the risks started to happen in the 70s, right? Like
Mhm.
more of those things like Sam Peckinpah, like just like guys who just like made stuff, you know, just because of the culture change in
It's
general,
time to make it.
right?
Yeah.
Right, you know, Apocalypse Now, right? Like
Yeah.
you got like all that stuff, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, I think like once those guys succeeded, they found a new formula to kind of
Yeah.
stick with, right? And then, you know,
And-
years later, and they keep on going sci-fi or whatever, Star Wars, and then you kind
Yeah.
of go, oh, comic books, we could actually transfer this stuff. We do have the material, you know. Let's originally like maybe try to keep it like comic book and movie, like try to keep it the same. But then, yeah, they realize, you know what? You know, Walking Dead changed everything, you know, for their comic, for their book, right? Like people died that weren't supposed to die in on the show, and that just like leaped into
Yeah.
a whole new world, right? But it was making money, so
Yeah.
you're right. I mean, it's formulaic. It's just you got to wait for like kind of like a new transition or culture change that's
Or
going to
you
make it.
are
I
the
can't wait for the next
transition.
Jurassic
Right,
Park.
or you are that, yeah.
Sorry, Paul.
I
But
just don't
I
think
think
there's
it's
enough
funny.
Jurassic Parks. I think they need to make more. So
Jurassic Park.
Definitely not enough. Definitely not
They
enough.
haven't made enough Jurassic Parks or
That's right.
Alien or Predator.
Alien.
I'm so
Or-
over it. I'm so over it. Oh my god.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing.
They haven't crossbred enough dinosaurs yet for my liking. So I need one.
I know man is just stupid. He keeps breeding these things. He deserves everything he gets, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
I think my favorite actors are the ones that go like, well, you know, I make these movies, so I can make these indie movies.
Right.
So I
Yes.
feel Hollywood can do the same thing. We made these movies, so we can make these indie movies because we know these are going to make money, but we need to make sure that we do these. But I feel like Hollywood has become too much business. You know, it goes back to what Rachel was saying.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, completely. Because during that merger, who decides to throw out a whole movie? We're gonna get it as a tax break. I'm like,
Warner Brothers.
What?
Are we talking Warner Brothers again?
how do you decide to throw out a whole? We're so Acme versus Coyote. You're never gonna see it again because we're gonna take it as a tax cut, as a tax break, as a loss.
They did. I think somebody bought it and did.
Well, same thing with and here's the funny thing. When all of a sudden when the Warner Brothers cartoon movie, the one that came out because that was another one that was canceled, made money, the studio's like, what the? They get upset that the movie makes money, and you're sitting there going, why are you getting upset?
Because they can't. At that point, they can't write it off.
It's a good trick also for indie filmmakers. You talk to somebody who raised money, be like, dude, take it as a tax write-off. I'll take the cash and I'll make my movie. You know,
That makes no sense to me. Like in business, no, it doesn't make any sense to me in business either. So I can't say that, because I've seen stores that'll throw out their merchandise instead of either donating it, giving it away. I don't know if you guys see some of these bin jumpers or these bin. They have their content, and I saw recently that GameStop was throwing away a bunch of this guy. He jumped into the bin. He goes, "Oh, this freaking PlayStations, Xboxes, and they're there in the bin. They just threw them away and you're like, dude, you could have donated that to like a freaking kids center,
like a dumpster diver or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
there's a whole
so the guy, the video is the guy goes to place to these stores and he dives into the dumper in the back when they get rid of their supplies. So most stores, instead of donating or whatever, they throw away their supplies. So it's brand new stuff. A lot of the times thrown into these garbage bins, and these bin divers, what they do is they go in there and they showcase what they found in these bins and how brand new it is.
Oh wow! Right, because it's already paid for, and they just figure it's a tax write-off.
Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast just did that with Magic the Gathering.
Yeah,
in a landfill in Texas.
Yep.
A bunch of stuff that they said that there was very limited stock of. Well, now we know why there was limited stock, because 90% of it was sitting in a landfill in Texas.
And it's not nothing new, because E.T., which destroyed the video game industry, You know, they put a ton of those fucking games into the landfill because they
They're
suck.
still digging up
Mhm.
ET movies. They're still or ET Atari games. They're still digging that
Oh,
stuff.
they're still digging them out. Yeah.
God. I
But
mean,
that's the way they get their right. That but unfortunately, if you get caught in that, now you can't even write it off. They're not going to allow you to write that off. But
I don't
And
know
that's
because they allow them to
so
do this because
disgusting.
they say what they're doing, and they do it, and they still get the right.
That's disgusting. And also terrible for the environment.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah,
disgusting.
And I completely agree.
It's
I feel
made with recycled material. Remember that? So
at least they can recycle it. At least
The
They don't
ET
believe in that
cartridges
stuff
were
either.
not.
And I completely agree with you, Rachel. I feel like risk has gone out the window, and I understand that Hollywood has
Well, it's
always
coming
been
back.
to this similarity. It has its moments, but there's moments when Hollywood takes risks.
and that's when it pays off.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that
every
is
time.
when it pays off. Because
Every
look at
time.
F1. F1 is probably the best movie of 2025. It didn't make a whole lot. I mean, it wasn't.
That was a good one.
Well, I
But
like
it-
Sinners. but-
Sinners was another
Sinners
one.
was fantastic, yeah.
Sinners was good.
Sinners
Talk about a
was the
risk.
Blade. Sinners was the Blade
Yep.
script rewritten, and Coogler
Based-
took a huge risk.
Yeah.
Huge.
Based on From Dusk Till Dawn,
Yes.
basically.
yes.
So.
Well, yes, true.
You know.
All fun movies. All fun
Right,
movies.
exactly.
Which is why it did well.
Right.
But,
Right, but yeah.
Yeah, Rachel, you're right. I mean, the risk right now, the risk is so low. They're not taking in as many risks,
No.
and I wish they would, like you're talking about. I
Well,
wish they would.
I think that's our superpower, though,
Yeah, it
as
is.
independent filmmakers.
Exactly.
Like,
Mhm.
I don't know how I do a lot of like visual analogies. The way that I see the industry right now is as if like there's a giant like circus tent fabric and it's held up by like a few very tall tent poles.
Yeah.
But like if we get on the outside and we just start raising our own tent poles of our own content, we could build our own tent. We can build this industry in a better light. It takes a lot of effort, don't get me wrong, and of course it's like breaking a lot of norms and doing like a lot of systems from the ground up, sure, but like it's not impossible. It's just may not be something that we see the benefit of in our lifetimes. And frankly, that's like worth it to me if I know that someone after me is going to have a better time creating what their heart wants that isn't like to the benefit of like these greedy
Say it.
insert word here. Insert can't say that right here, but you know what I mean.
You've also seen when that happens to indie creators, where the big studio eats them up, and all of a sudden, and we've seen this recently a lot with cartoons, where these
Mhm.
creators get eaten up into the bigger company, and then all of a sudden, they get weirded out by what's going on in the cartoon, and they go, we're not going to do this anymore. But now the person doesn't own the cartoon anymore,
Yep. Suits get
so
involved
they
in the
can't even
writer's
do
room.
anything else with it.
Get it out.
Yeah,
These suits in the writer's room. I'm done with it. I can't.
Yep.
Absolutely not.
That's what happened to
why I
Final
respect-
Space.
That's why I
It's
respect the Sinners contract so much.
Mhm. Is it beneficial to even sell your IP now, though? Is it beneficial? If you're let me ask you, Lee. I mean, is it beneficial for you to make a film and then sell it, or because take that
Well,
risk, or no?
I mean, yeah, I would take the risk. I mean, it's because you're hoping. I mean, the whole thing is you're hoping to get another one. You know, you're hoping to get a bigger deal somewhere else. I mean, unless you're. I mean, I guess because I've been doing it for a while, it's kind of like you want to get your message out there, right? Like, and you want to get it to the widest audience possible. You know, I don't have, at least from my perspective, I don't have the luxury of gaming and getting, 38 million people, on board, right?
Right.
It's kind of like, it's just tough because you want to get your work out there. And the thing is, like, you're going to do a film, they're going to look at it and say, that's great, maybe we want it, but what else do you have? Okay, so you're going to need, you're just going to have to feed the machine, but you'd have stuff ready for you to go. So like, as much as you're like built, like I've had a bunch of short films, a couple features, and they're kind of like, well, what else do you have? Are you prepared? And that's the other part of indie filmmaking anyway, right? So it's like, I have a pitch deck for TV series that I've made, and you kind of hope that that's going to take off, but I can make a couple of episodes, a couple of teasers, But at least for me on the indie side, like the finances run out at some point, and you kind of
Yeah.
just like, how do I keep that machine going? And if somebody's like on the industry side, like I'll take this, and give me a couple other things, I might do it, just because I could fund my next projects, my next
Yeah.
indie projects,
Yeah.
and it's kind of just the way it works, unfortunately. I mean, you got this guy who does the one movie, got his $3 million budget, whatever it is, and it's amazing, and he's probably worked extremely hard, especially with all this stuff. And that's the other thing, you're 24 hours on this stuff. This is not like,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to be a weekend warrior, but some of us have to pay bills or want kids or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
there's a whole
Yeah.
other world.
I
Oh
know
my
as
God.
an indie author, that's what Raph and I were talking about last night. Yeah, I wholeheartedly
Yeah,
get
so
it.
like when the opportunity comes, you want to be like prepped for it, and that's I think like a lot of indie filmmakers kind of lack, right? They're not prepared for that moment
Oh
when
yeah.
it's like, here's the opportunity. We have your film. We're going to distribute that, but do you have another script? Do you have another film behind you? Like, what's going on next? Maybe you could get in on this show or like build a show with it, be a showrunner. It really just depends, what your goal as the filmmaker is, right? Do you
Yeah.
want to, like, we all wear like different hats, but like ultimately, which one do you want to be working on? Do you want to do everything? You still want to do that? It's a lot of work if you're doing a feature. It's good, but it's rewarding when you get to that success, but it's a long road.
There was something that you mentioned about like him having 39 million subscribers and stuff like that. And again, that's something that came off of like decades of him making
Right.
content that was
Yeah.
broadly irrelevant to this, like, other than the fact that the
But for
movie was
the
an adaptation of a video game.
Mhm.
It's not like he did this with like, and then I'm gonna make movies, like
right,
that was
He
kind of
just
a natural
followed his
progression.
flow. Yeah.
right, and
Yeah.
they got him into that widescreen theater, right? Like they got him. That was the thing with the distribution. Didn't they do the fan crowdsourcing? I
There
thought
was
they
no
did.
they. There was no they. It
That
was
was all him.
literally. It
It
was
was just
just
all
him.
him.
So
Yeah.
so this movie, he had an initial contract with I think maybe 50 theaters, and it was like something that he was able to negotiate himself because like AMC, Cinemark, whatever, like big whatever, however they were trying to do it by themselves, were not taking him seriously because when he went, I'm Markiplier, I'm a YouTuber. They went, okay, buddy, like
Yeah. Whatever.
Right.
whatever.
That's what they did. Yeah.
So he managed to get one kind like distribution contract with a couple of theaters around the country, but like that was it. And then he did a
Yeah.
live stream and people were like, hey, put it in my theater. He went, I can't, like they need to reach out to
Oh,
me.
okay.
Here's an email on my website. And then from there people were reaching out to theaters left, right, and center about it. And like
He got the power.
Right,
I had a conversation with a theater owner because I know this one theater owner by me, like a local independent theater who I've done a couple screenings at myself. And I sent a text to him. I'm like, hey, I don't see your theater on this map yet. You should get on this if you can before the AMC gets on because, or the
Right.
whatever, commercial,
Yeah.
whatever.
Mhm.
Chain theaters, that's the word. Get on it because this is going to be like a good thing. And he called me right back and was like, what is this film? I gave him the whole rundown. He was like, this guerrilla marketing campaign is crazy. Like totally
Okay.
did not think it was like, thought it was like prank emails at first until he talked to other theater owners and then found out that it was a legitimate thing, then
Yep.
reached out. They actually ended up having to cancel the screening, I guess, because they got in after the chain theaters got in, so there wasn't enough
Okay.
interest. Because I actually bought my ticket to go see the screening at his film, and it got refunded, which I felt really bad about. But it's like that was kind of the thing.
Yeah.
Like if you got in on that initial ticket jump,
Oh, definitely.
your screenings
Okay.
were sold out.
Wow.
Like, end.
See, Rachel, that makes sense then because when I was on 42nd Street, the big theater, the AMC had it, and I was like, okay, where did that come from?
Yeah, it's because
Okay.
after the initial jump and people, because again, most people will go to their chain theater right now
Yeah.
before their locals, especially since COVID, because a lot of those theaters have shut down and like people don't go as much anymore. I mean, again, the build is growing, but when it comes to the chain theaters, people are more likely to go to a chain theater than anywhere else. And yeah, so once the chain theaters got on, it was like everybody just was buying tickets at chain theaters because that's their like place I go. that was like another one of the talking points in the videos that I made. It was like, go and support your local theaters. Like, if you're going to get them to put this showing in your screen, that means the theater is like committing to your like engagement with this movie.
Exactly.
So show
Yeah.
the love back by going in, buying from the concessions, like
Mhm.
this, that, and the other thing. And also the ticket split with 50-50. So it was like a
Oh
pretty,
wow.
Which
yeah,
is
it was
rare.
a good,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
rare.
That's very
Yeah.
rare.
Yeah, it was a 50-50 ticket split. Excuse me.
Which is one of the
50-50
reasons
split.
why the theaters jumped in on it, was because, you know, he gave them a great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
It's an
for
awesome
him
deal.
it wasn't about making a profit as much
Yeah.
as it was getting the
Getting it
movie
out
out
there.
to
Making the
his.
film.
He knew he was
Right.
gonna make a profit. Like you know, after the first theater sold out, it wasn't about that anyway. It was about getting the movie out.
It's amazing. I'm surprised the theater let them play anyway, because sometimes they used to be a rule where you weren't allowed to do that. You know, have indies play, because it would take up the time of, you know, the other movies. You know.
I remember
So-
that. Yeah.
What about the artisan films that are in theaters right now? All the
Yeah.
focus features, the artisan,
Right, for all the focus. Right, but I'm just saying, like those companies
like
typically
Song
like
Sung Blue,
right.
the indie
which-
film.
But I understand
I
what
like
you're
that
saying,
one. That was good.
because I
Right,
find
It's a
that,
good movie.
yeah.
It's not
it
an
was
indie
more
film.
the indie
No, it's
theaters.
not, but I like it.
It
But
was
it's
more the indie
according to
theaters that had
AMC.
the indie movies. You know, the bigger theaters like usually didn't, but the theater on the corner that showed everything, they would have like all the independent movies that will come in, they'll come through, or they'll showcase one or two of them, or
Right.
or the theaters that were more about the community, because you still have a couple of those community
Yes.
type theaters, and they will showcase stuff that you know. I know I've been here in New York, and I'll pass by a theater going, "What is that? I haven't seen that before." So you
Theaters are
do have
desperate for
theaters that
content,
take
though.
care of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but there was. Is it in a good time slot? That was the other thing, because that was another thing they kind of like
Iron
had those. Yeah, well, not Iron Lung, just in general, like movies where
Oh,
the
she's
indie
talking about
films.
the indies in general.
Yeah, indies
Oh.
in general, like, you know, when you tried to get it in the theater, they would first they would say give you the hi hat and say no, you know, and then they would
Or
be
they-
like, you know,
They
oh,
put you
okay,
at the 3
maybe
o'clock. They put you at the 3
Right.
o'clock or the 4 o'clock movie where nobody's going to come watch it
Exactly.
anyway.
exactly, yeah, just so they could get you in. So
We've seen all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when it's something like, I mean, because just Iron Lung is the like weird anomaly here where it was getting like primetime showings, you know.
that's amazing.
Yeah, no, I went and saw my showing. It was like 6:45, and then there
Yeah,
was
mine
like a later
mine
one.
was 7.
Yeah, there was one at 7. Yeah, like, you know, normal screen times. And in the big theater too.
Yeah.
Like it was like the Dolby XL or whatever screen I saw it on. AMC XL, whatever screen, the
I
gotta
special
say,
screen.
Like it's impressive what Markiplier did, you know, because you know he actually did this. He didn't have that help because he went out looking for it, like Rachel said, and they were like, ha, 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 and they laughed at him.
They literally did. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was like
I
one of
believe
the
it.
things. If you go and watch his live streams, he talks about how like he couldn't, like there was so much red tape that he couldn't like get through, and
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah.
the reality of independent
Yeah.
film. Like, you know, I one of the things I said was like, you know, you have like first time directors like who are famous people already that don't find success because, truth be told, they don't have an active community under them, and that was the thing. He doesn't just have a community; it's an active community,
Yeah,
a foaming at the mouth community. And I think the size definitely helped with global interest, but I think if you have an active and like engaged community, you could probably have a little bit more sway than you think, regardless of like size, as long as you have that like that active and engaged like interest in
I
what
feel
you're
like
trying to do.
Usually that
Yeah.
works, but I find that like we were talking about earlier, when they decide that you don't want to watch that, when they decide that's not what you want, because you know Shannon here, she's a ghost hunter, and it used to be so much easier for me to find ghost hunting shows on TV. You know, almost every channel had one.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
or certain channels had one, or the specific channels had one. Now you got to go with Paraflix, which is what Shannon's with, and do a streaming service so you can find ghost hunters who are actually doing ghost hunting. Because I think the only thing they've stayed with are people like the Ghost Adventurers,
Right. Yep.
who They're entertaining. Shannon,
Well, that's what that's become.
mhm,
It's not about real where it started as a real interest in investigating. And back in the day you had Paranormal State, which was a bunch of college kids that had a paranormal group there, and that gained interest and was shown on sci-fi for a few years, and Ghost Hunters and all that other stuff. But then it became saturated with entertainment, the jump scares,
yeah,
this and that. And people don't want to watch a real paranormal investigation because
Right.
you're just sitting in the dark talking to nothing, waiting for hours for
Let,
something to maybe happen, and then you start to question your sanity, like, why am I just talking to myself here?
it's less
So,
about the investigation now and more about the production,
exactly.
Yeah,
and
that's
that
true.
yeah,
ruined it. It
yes,
ruined it.
but that's the fun part of Paraflix, is that they showcase the independent people that are making their investigations public and trying to create something entertaining but truthful, and or truthful for them, in their way. And it's not overly priced, which is really cool. So they make it affordable for the fans who want to continue to watch new things and new creators and new locations. And they're adding more to it. They have movies, they have podcasts, they have talk shows. So they have a lot of depth to it, and it's paranormal crime, UFOs, crypto. Like, it touches on every area of that, which you're not really seeing on TV anymore. So it's pretty cool.
And the industry is still there. It's like and, the big business is acting like nobody's doing ghost hunting anymore. No, nobody's doing this anymore, and which is funny to me because the cons are huge. The paranormal conventions are huge. You know, they've become a thing. Horror cons have become a thing, and usually in the horror cons you have the paranormal investigators there. So it kind of bugs me out because again, I feel like it's Hollywood deciding, well, you don't want this anymore. You
Yeah,
don't want to see this anymore.
that's what happens.
Wait, I have a question. Shannon, do you do like the production side of Paraflix? Are you like
Absolutely not.
okay, I was curious.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
curious because I know you're the you host or
I
Yeah, she's
am their social media
yeah.
host.
yes.
I
Okay.
go to events and I do things like that with and represent them. But Natalie Jones and Patty Negree are she's a psychic medium, Hollywood psychic medium.
Cool.
They came together and created Paraflix Paranormal Plus, and it gives all of the independent people who were trying to get shows or trying to get their things out there a platform to put their stuff out there.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. So yeah, it's a lot of hard work on their end, but not on mine.
For sure. Yeah, no,
I'm
totally.
on,
I was
I'm on some of the
curious.
shows. I was lucky enough to be on some of the shows that are on the network itself. But again, I just was there to investigate and have a face.
No, that's awesome. No, that's really cool. I was curious because like that's one of the things with like distribution of independent content. Like this is a I mean, how long has the platform been around?
It's been around for, I think it's been 4 years,
4 years.
4 or 5 years, maybe a little bit longer. I know
That's
that it
great.
was born around the time of COVID, so it was very, where it was coming out before then, and then all of that happened. So it's Natalie's a powerhouse, and I'm very proud of her.
Yeah.
And to see everything that she does to make this successful for everyone. Um, that's right now I'm with my best friend, medium Bianca Rose. We're working on some things special. I can't talk about it though, so don't ask me anything. But I'm listening. That's why I was listening a lot to what you guys were all saying and not really putting my 2 cents in, because I was kind of just trying to absorb everything, you
It's a lot of
know.
good information.
It scared the crap out of me.
There's a
That's
lot.
coming
But
from the
I was,
paranormal person.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
you
scarier
know,
than stuff.
it just, and I am in the middle of, well, not in the middle, I'm coming to the end of filming in an independent film called The Hellbound Covenant. And I see a lot of those struggles that they face. So I just really hoping right now we're putting out our pitch deck and our sizzle reel and hoping to get more investors and stuff like that. So I hope for them it happens, you know, for all of us, for everyone.
Are you an
Yeah.
actor in that movie?
I am.
Yay!
Nice.
I am. I play Lady Raven. I'm a high priestess in a cult.
Very good.
That literally sounds phenomenal.
That's cool.
Yay! Oh, there's oh, cool.
Yeah, so
Oh, nice.
fun. The sizzle reel is on their direct page.
Oh yeah, but we were showing it off when we were doing our Friday the
Yeah.
13th show. We were
I
having a lot of
had
spooky fun and
I
showing off
had
a lot of
such a Friday the 13th day that day.
It was
It
interesting
was,
Friday the 13th.
I did. I had a day. I had a lovely time that day. That was a fun night.
And I gotta say, like, we also have our friend Rob Longo, who was supposed to be here today, but he had something else to do. And he started his own streaming service thing for indie creators, you know, called Abracadabra.
I love that.
Yeah, so Abracadabra is what he's created because he's an indie creator. He's a director. He makes his own movies, makes his own horror movies as well. And he was like, I wanted a place where I can put the movies up that I'm making so I can see them, you know. And because isn't that the dream of us all indie creators? And he created Abracadabra. He will probably be on the show soon to talk about all this, but I wanted to at least bring it up there because we're talking about indie creation and the fact that sometimes we got to do what we need to be done in order to get our stuff out there.
Yeah.
It's really important. I mean, like what I'm thinking about, like with Paraflix and then Abracadabra, it's like I think there's a fear of like oversaturation in media. Like there's a fear of like, oh, how's anybody going to see my stuff if like everyone's doing something similar? But the truth is that your take is always going to be independent and different from anybody else's. But what I like about these streaming services is that they kind of create these niche environments for people looking for a specific thing to go. And like that's what we need more of instead of like broad feed me content like you kind of get from big streaming services right now. Like you said, I don't know if this was Green Rumor earlier, but you guys were talking about how like I can't find anything to watch, which is ironic when you're going on like a streaming service. You know what I mean?
That's
There's
because, you know, again, like I was saying, I don't know if I was saying it in the Green Room or I was saying it here. They want you to watch what they want you to watch.
Yeah.
They don't want you to watch your old favorites, you know, because when you're watching your old favorites, they gotta pay residuals to the people that you're watching. They don't like paying residuals. When it's a new thing, they don't pay residuals. That, you know, it's new, so there's no residuals there. You know, so they rather you watch the new stuff than the old stuff because the new stuff they make all the money off of it. And it's funny that you're saying this.
The residuals they pay is crap anyway. So
it's so minimal
that
you wonder why they're so upset. Exactly, they wonder why they get so upset to pay these minimal residual. I'm like, you know, and it's funny, Rachel, that you're saying this because if you remember cable. For a while, in order to get people to buy their services, what they started to do was having special channels like G4 or the History Channel, and then after a while, they started diluting those channels. They started going, oh, you know, we're gonna. Well, first cable started doing commercials, and then they started going, well, you're watching the History Channel, but we're not making money off of you watching the History Channel. And you sit there going, what? I'm like, I'm paying for the channel. How are you not making?
Right.
And then they would start showing Cops. You know, they did it with G4. They started showing Cops. It's just to make money. I'm like, what the hell does Cops have to do with G4? And it bugged me out. And it's always something that's upset me for like my because you had these channels and you were paying for these channels because you wanted that specific content. But then Hollywood or whatever management decided, You don't want to watch
Yeah.
this. You want to watch Cops. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch Cops. I want to watch Cops. Go watch Cops.
Look at MTV. MTV did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All your music channels went from music videos
Yep.
to reality TV because something happened in 2000 that everybody liked watching reality TV, and now
Yeah.
that's all saturated.
There's
Yeah, you
sure.
lost all of your specialty channels,
I just wanted to pay to get away from commercials.
right?
Yeah, I go up to Rhode Island, and my mother-in-law still has cable, and it doesn't matter what station I go to. As soon as I go to a new station, it's like there's a commercial.
Yep.
I go to another
Yeah.
station. I start watching a show. There's another commercial. I change the
Yep.
channel. It's like forget it. It's like
Yeah.
why am I watching this? It's just there's a commercial on every time we change the
I know.
channel. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. And then you gotta like pay more to not have a commercial.
Oh,
It's
you
like-
want this? You want this exclusive non-commercial package?
Yeah, but that's funny though, because you'll get the exclusive now commercial package, and then they'll decide, oh, we're gonna show one commercial, two commercials.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
and they'll start doing that, and they'll slowly edge it. Next thing you know, there's a special channel where you don't watch commercials.
The platinum package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there like it's such a wild, broad think tank question, but like a solution?
Hmm.
Like
Read
a
a book?
proposed solution to
Read a
something,
book.
something
Well,
that would
I mean,
no, but
stream-
like having access
Yeah.
to this media, but then doing it in a way that, again, because obviously business is important towards making these things sustainable.
Yeah.
Giving people who run them the opportunity to live. So like, there has to be some kind of middle ground that I couldn't even fathom, but I'm like, what could possibly be a solution that would make it beneficial to the creators and to the people running the operation in a way that everyone is like surviving?
Do all the commercials at the beginning of the show like they do at the movies, like a preview, so you could get up and freaking walk away and come back.
Yeah.
Not to be mean, and then if you're interested, you're interested. But that's what they should do. And then that's in my opinion.
But the problem there is that because commercials, they fundamentally are about informing people about a product or service, right? So if you're just like disregarding commercials, like the point of them, again, the why you sell commercial space is because you're showing it to people who will potentially have interest in it. Obviously, it's gotten way too crazy with like targeted ads
Yeah.
and like feeding you things that you have Googled, which is like Big Brothery and weird.
Scary.
But
Yeah, terrible.
scary. But again, like commercials do serve a purpose. So like, while I agree, because I also hate commercials and definitely have an ad blocker,
Dude.
like there's a purpose to them and there's a
Yeah.
reason why they fund art. You know what I mean?
But I've always been
So-
of the nature. I've always been of the nature that if you're gonna entertain me with a commercial, I'm gonna watch that commercial.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons why I love the Super Bowl, is because they actually work to entertain you. I feel like commercials have gotten to this point where they don't really care. They just want to put their message out there. They don't really entertain. You were gonna say, Shannon?
Huh? No, I agree with you.
Okay. No, you're about to say something. I cut you off.
No, I just literally I said yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
agree with you.
You want to make sure I'm not cutting anybody off.
I don't know if there is a solution. I mean, because streaming was supposed to be the solution for cable.
Yeah,
Yep.
And you see where they took streaming.
it's
So
cable
I
now.
mean, every time you come up with a solution, they're just going to find their way
Yeah.
to.
Because they like the ad.
Well, right. That's the thing. You had no commercials, and then all of a sudden, they weren't making money, right? Netflix, right?
But the-
I guess they couldn't account for the streaming at the time.
Well,
right?
you're trying to now Netflix. If had Netflix not gone to trying to produce their own movies, I think you wouldn't have seen. This is just a dash opinion, and nobody to reflect
Yeah.
anybody else. But
You're making sense.
Netflix went to producing their own movies.
Mhm.
Now they need to pay the actors and the
Mhm.
directors and whatnot. So that's why you're
Well,
jumped up.
I also
and
think they had licensing issues
Yeah,
with those movies that they took, right, or whatever, borrowed for X amount of
Mhm.
time,
Yeah,
and
but-
they, Sony
now
was
they're
like, "Oh,
trying
if
to-
you could do it, I could do it."
But now they're trying to buy Warner Brothers
Now, yeah,
with
now they
billions
are.
of dollars. So what? They can't make movies with that money?
Oh,
You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's like kind of defeating what Lily is saying. They buy Warner Brothers, and now they don't have to make their own movies because now
Right.
Warner Brothers will
Right.
make it for them.
right. That's
Yeah.
why Netflix wants Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Then all it is
Exactly,
for
yeah.
them, all it is for them now is profit. It's
Yeah.
nothing but profit. They
It's
don't
always
pay-
been profit.
Well,
I mean, I think right. I mean, it's always
Right.
profit, but yeah.
That's why I
I'm
don't
playing
understand.
devil's advocates.
No,
Yeah,
no,
Well,
it's always
I think
I
because
like
any
it.
of these mergers, I don't get them. I don't
yeah.
understand the mergers because, like, every time you see a merger, what ends up happening is things go bad for
well,
us.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it may be good for them, but it goes bad for. It's like the merger with Warner Brothers when they started canceling their movies or not letting you see the movies and all that stuff. You know, you understand it's business, but at the same time, you're like, wait a minute. You know, what am I getting out of this? If you're supposedly the merger was so that you guys can make better money, yet you got to take tax cuts and do this and do that. I, I don't.
Well, that goes that full circle thing again. Now
Mhm.
you're
Right.
back to full circle and it boils down to that's not what you want. It's what we want. It's like we were talking about last night in the show.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's not about what the creator wants. It's about
yeah,
what the audience wants. And if you can't give your audience what they want, you're going to have a panel of 6 people like now talking about why aren't they giving us what we want? But I again, it all boils down to that's a very good question. What is the solution? I'd be lying if I said I could give you an answer to that because I
It's
don't know.
difficult.
It
it
It's
is
is.
very
difficult
difficult.
because of the society that we're in and we're all accustomed and conditioned to. Like we all think like, well, we have to make so much money in order to and
Yeah,
it's like you kind of I feel like there's got to be like some kind of like proposed greed clause. Like when we get to this point where we're not really considering the creator and like what they're trying to do anymore and we're kind of just thinking about where like money like there's a degree like obviously make money and make a profit and make sure people can live but when it becomes like gross, I guess is the only word I
No,
can
you're
think of
right.
right now.
You're right.
It's like that's where you kind of gotta like curb or consider other means of employing people. Like find a reason for that money that isn't just lining thick pockets. You know?
and it's so funny you say that because it becomes this point where it's not the company making money because that's what they like to say.
It's
The
not.
company's making
It's
money.
not.
It's the guys on top.
It's not.
It's the
It's
guys on top
not.
making money. Yeah, because
That's
they
all.
don't share that money.
It's the
Those profits
No.
CEOs.
go down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's your CEOs and things. But it all boils like I said. Some of the best movies I've seen in the last few years have been smaller budget
yep,
indie films.
Yes.
indie
Yeah.
films. Mhm.
Yes.
Because I would much rather go watch an F1 or a Sinners than go nothing against the comic, but I already know what's going to happen in Avengers. You're already
Right.
guaranteed to know what's going to happen in
So
Avengers.
done. So done with
Well,
the
you're
And
also
Marvel
so
movies.
exhausted with that stuff. So, like, seeing something different,
Hi.
is kind of like, oh, that's refreshing. Here we go. I'm going to see,
that,
a Sinners,
that's why
right, or
Disney
whatever.
is. That's why Disney. Well, what I've heard, Disney is going back to the animation. They're
Yeah,
going back to the
that's
the,
the
the,
rumor.
the animation cells and the hand
Mhm.
drawns because
Ooh.
that's what people want. They
That's the
they
rumor.
don't if they want to nobody. I mean, you can go back to probably Jungle Book was fine as a live action, but as it started going from Jungle Book into Mulan into Aladdin, people started groaning because you're not giving us anything new. You're just taking money from something we've already had.
We already connected to that medium.
Yes, we've already
Yeah.
connected to it. You're not going to uh
Somebody thought that live action was better than the
yeah.
animation,
But
and
it
you
goes back to what I'm
regurgitate it.
saying earlier. I don't know if I said it in the green or if I said it here. It goes back to the whole idea that they want our money
Right.
and they want us to come along with what they're doing, but they're not making it for us anymore.
No.
But they want that money that we bring for it because we're the ones that love it. But then at the same time, you're not making something that I like. So why do I have to watch it? You're making this for the new people coming up, but it's a weird mix because they're making it because there's nostalgia there. They're making it because there's an audience there, but they want to make new stuff.
I thought
I'm
that
like,
was
you're
so
better
true.
off making the new stuff because the old audience, they don't want to watch that.
And that they think they can
Right.
pull two. They think it's like I think even Rachel said it earlier. You're trying to pull in the entire crowd
Yeah.
instead, but you're going to end up alienating
Yep.
one or the other.
Hmm.
The audiences need to be specific.
Right.
Like it's one of the things. Like I've gone to so many networking events in the last couple of months, and a lot of the questions, or one question that I ask a lot of people in particular, is like, "Oh, so this project you're working on, what audience are you geared towards?" Like I actually, Shane Hurlbert, DP of the Drumline and a couple other films. I met him at a networking event recently, and I was asking him, like, because he's a big, he's working on some TV show with Nicole Kidman and blah blah blah, whatever. And I was asking him, like, between, like, in your history of working on films as a DP, like, what have you found the most, like, fulfilling? And he said that it was kind of a mix, but mostly films that had a more, like, niche audience, or at least a mid niche audience, like things that were more specific with intention ended up being more fulfilling as a creator because you can be more specific with what you're trying to do because you kind of know who you're going for. And I think like that needs to come back, and writers and filmmakers in general just being more like, what are you trying to say, and who are you trying to say it to? And it may not go to those people, and they may not hear the message, but they're going to hear something, and they're going to feel something from it, and that's the point.
I agree with you, Rachel. And with that whole thing that you guys were talking about, the comic book movies, the problem they're having is that they're trying to go for this audience, and instead of making the movie for this audience, and then hopefully this audience likes it. And then because what happens is they alienate the comic book audience, because the comic book audience wants a certain thing. They want to see a certain thing. Whether the movie is predictable or not, they want to see a certain thing. I like when they did the whole X-Men story, and they did the Phoenix Saga and decided that Jean Grey and Cyclops have nothing to do with the Phoenix Saga, and you're sitting there going, "What, dude? The freaking Phoenix Saga is about these two people." And then they decide we're gonna make the movie about Wolverine. I'm like, what does Wolverine have to do with the Phoenix?
Listen,
again, it also looks like, for comic movies, they're looking global, right? They're not specific to one place. So that's a whole other thing, right? Like, I mean,
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, that's
three things are certain in this life. GTA 6 is never coming out. Winds of Winter is never coming out. And Marvel will never do the Phoenix Saga
the way it's supposed to.
It used to be
such a great story, man.
Yummy
saying that they also make the live issue of the live stories and stuff because they want to hold on to the copyrights, which is one of the things they're doing.
Oh yeah,
you know what?
Every time they use the thing, they're holding on to the copyrights.
I totally get that, but you can go back and do what they did with making a Lion King 1.5. You can produce that for your Disney Plus. You can do certain things like that where you don't have to ruin, and you can do a 1.5 hour special on Disney Plus with the IP or the copyright, and you're going to hold on to it. So you don't have to go in and try to appease to a bunch of people. Where you can throw it on Disney Plus, have a 1.5 hour Lady and the Tramp Part 2, and you're done, and you're holding on to it. But they did it. And we were talking about this again. You don't need to try to get me to sympathize with Cruella de Vil and Maleficent, because I want them to be evil. I want them to be bad people. So you don't have to make a Maleficent movie that makes her look sympathetic and she's not really the bad guy. I don't need that. They're just trying to.
But Wicked did it so well.
Wicked is a totally different thing.
Wicked's where it came from.
Wicked is totally different, and I can appreciate that route in the storytelling.
I love Wicked, by the way.
Wicked I did 2 shows on Wicked. The Wicked.
But again, with Wicked,
well, not the movies. I should say. I
go to where you're going, Dash. But Wicked, they took that whole thing, shook it up. Well, at least the author of the book took the whole thing, shook it up, and did something else with it. Right. It's not the same story.
No, it is not. But I will go with Rachel. The musical is 10 times better. I like the movies. Don't get me wrong. But the musical is 10 times better. I've seen it on Broadway and off Broadway. So I
can't say I haven't actually watched the movies, but that's more of a boycott because.
Well, I get you.
I don't want to ruin it.
I'm with you. I had to unfortunately do it for a movie review show. So
here's the rumor, and I'll throw it to you guys because here's the rumor. The rumor is that these 2 Wicked movies did really well, so now they're looking at that universe and how to extend it.
Well, he has.
Yeah, why not?
He has 8 books.
He's done other things, but they're not talking about that. He's done other things, but they're not talking.
He has 7 books in the entire basically.
Yeah, he does. He does. World. But they're not talking about that.
I know. But that boils down to, again,
See, here's another
It's
thing.
what they want and not what we want.
I feel that cloud, the rain cloud.
I feel the rain in the parade, exactly. And here's one of the things I
I'm
love
gonna go
to talk
scream off
about.
camera now, real quick.
It's like watching Deadpool, because they keep telling us that we don't. This is not the X-Men or the superheroes we want. Then you watch Deadpool and everybody loves it, and they're like, because they tell you you don't. Nobody wants to see the costumes. Nobody wants to see Wolverine in his yellow and whatever costume. Nobody. They keep telling again. It goes back to that whole. They tell us, and then we like Deadpool, and they go, "Why do they like that movie so much?"
It's free. It takes risks.
Exactly. And they hate Ryan Reynolds.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother story. Good, for a whole nother show. No, I'm kidding.
That's funny.
I kid.
Oh my God. All right, folks. I hope you've enjoyed the show. It's been fantastic. Now let's tell you a little bit about these people that we have been talking to. Rachel, why don't you start off and tell the people who you are and all the good stuff? Go for it.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Rachel Cordell. I'm an actress and producer, and I do a bunch of other things and wear a bunch of other hats, but mostly you can find me on the internet at Rachel Cordell, where right now I'm gearing a lot of content towards storytelling and a lot of the independent film industry. So you could follow me on there if you want to do that. Also TikTok and on YouTube here. I'm doing some more of that content as well. But also on Twitch, I'm Majora's Rose. I play video games sometimes and act like a clown. And also, if you like tabletop role-playing game content, like Critical Role or Dimension 20, I have to shout out RP Jesters, which is my podcast where we tell silly stories and have a good time. So,
yeah, she is a Jane of all trades, which is I like people who are Janes and Jacks of all trades, because they do so many beautiful things. And are you going to Long Island Tabletop? Maybe.
Potentially. I think I will be able to make it because I was supposed to go out to Emerald City Comic Con, but that got delayed for a potential event and then that got canceled. So I guess my weekend's open again, but we'll see.
Because I like running into you guys at Tabletop. It's always fun.
I know. Casey, who is my co-producer on RP Jesters, is probably going to go out there.
Oh, cool.
But the intention is for me to go. But we'll see. We'll see how it works out. I'm very busy right now.
Yeah, folks. Follow her. Rachel does so many things. Dudes, you got to see all the good stuff they do with playing their games. It's a lot of great games, a lot of great stories.
Thank you. Thank you.
You just gained a fan here, so.
Woo!
There you go.
I'll take it.
All right, Lee, tell the people all the good stuff. Go for it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So my name is Lee Kalinsky. I'm a writer filmmaker. You can find my stuff on Facebook, Instagram. Also, I run a screenplay contest called Blue Eye Screenplay Contest, and you can find that on Film Freeway. It's a short script contest where if you submit, you might win a couple bucks.
You might win a couple bucks, man.
Where do I find this at?
Yeah, so we can try that out. Oh yes, I got a lot of dog photos also on my pages. I've been doing that lately.
What was I talking to you about last night, Raph? About writing a movie?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go. Write a movie.
Yeah, Lee's contest would be perfect for you.
Yeah, there you go. It's a short one, short scripts, even short comic book scripts. So you can even do that as well.
Yeah, Lee's a jack of all trades, which again, like I told you, I love people who do a bunch of different things. I like people who do specific things, but it's always fun to have all the people like me that like all the different things, because I'm always being told that I should like one thing. I've been being told that all my life, folks. I've been told since I was a kid.
This show wouldn't be this show if you were only liking one thing. Rafael. That's all I gotta say.
Right.
All right, Dash, go for it.
Dash Hooper. I am kind of like, I like a little bit of everything like Raph does there, but
which is why I like them so much.
Yeah, I am an author. You can see a couple of my books there, Hybrids and Hell Comes to Texas. I am on the Madness Entertainment Group, where we talk about books. We talk about creativity, and then we do a music show every Wednesday called First Impressions, where we listen to an album we've never listened to before, and it has to be the vinyl. We go out and hunt down the vinyls, and listen to the album,
Ooh.
and that's Ed and I on Wednesday nights. It's a fun show. And I used to be kind of stuck in that vibe of the 80s, 70s, and 80s because that's when I was a kid. But Ed has introduced me to the uh, indie rock and indie groups, and I have become a huge indie fan. So you can find a lot of that on Wednesday nights on YouTube and Facebook and things like that. So yeah, and then I have a Substack. I just dropped. Tomorrow would be part 2 of Good and Evil, and uh, th- this is pretty good one, isn't it?
Oh, it's a great one. We
Oh
already
man,
had a couple conversations.
I might have stirred up a little bit of a hornet's nest on this one, but it's fun, and so that's just Dash in a nutshell.
I gotta say, folks, if you
Nice.
guys are on his Facebook, you get all this fun stuff. He dives into all his media for you guys to go check it out, and it's just fantastic.
See
You
there?
know, if you like anything to do with media, I feel like you need to be on Dash's Facebook page because he's constantly doing one contest or another, or putting things against each other, like the Karate Kid and the Coal Miner's.
Nice.
We are in the right now we're in the midst of the ultimate 80s movie, and yeah, you would never in a million years would you guys have ever thought the Karate Kid would go up against the Coal Miner's daughter. But on my page it
That's
definitely will.
crazy. I didn't even know that was in the 80s, the coal miners. I thought
Yeah,
that was the 70s.
that was right at 80. That was 90.
Ooh.
It made the cutoff.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I love movies, and I love media and physical media. I can't stress enough: go buy physical media, people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
you said, you don't want to go on to streaming and not be able to find what you want. You can have it.
I gotta say it's funny because people have been making fun of me for a long time because they kept telling me, "Why do you keep buying physical media? Why do you keep buying the physical games? Why do you keep buying the physical movies and the physical CDs?" And I was like, that's because when you're on streaming, you don't own it. They can take it away from you at any time.
Yep.
It's like, stop being such a pessimist, Ralph. Who's the pessimist now?
Oh, yeah.
Just
Right.
bring up about Steam. You don't own any games on Steam to the kids, and
Exactly.
they'll get
Oh,
really
yeah.
upset about it. they'll get it.
Oh my God!
You own none of your games, by the way.
Exactly.
None. Zero.
If Roblox dies, it's over.
Well, the
Oh,
riot,
you
that,
made a
will, the
statement and a
riot
half
that will
there.
happen when Roblox dies will. Yeah.
It's over.
Right.
All right, Shannon,
way
tell
of
the
Club
people
Penguin.
all the beautiful stuff. Go for it.
I am the Queen of Darkness, a dream within a scream, Powerflix's horror hostess with the ghostess. I am a poet, model, actress, weirdo. Do weird things. I like to scare people. You can
And of
find
course,
me on Instagram at a dream_within_a_scream, or go to my website, adreamwithinascream.com. Yay!
Nice.
I was going to say she has amazing poetry. She actually reads it on her Instagram and her TikTok. And of course, if you guys are here in Long Island, in 2 weeks, Shannon will be at the Long Island Horror Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So you can meet her in person.
Very nice.
Yes.
And I'm going to be bringing you all that beautiful stuff from Long Island Horror Con. I wasn't going to go, but a lot of people have told me that I should go. So
Yes. You better be there.
because like every time I turn around, somebody I know is going already, like Shannon. So there I'm going to be there. I'm going to show you all the beautiful stuff. Go check it out. It's a fantastic little con, and a lot of the people that you guys know and a lot of the people who've been on the show will be there at Long Island Horror Con. Go say hi to Shannon.
Yeah.
She won't scare you much.
Much.
I just want a little bit of your soul. For safekeeping. I promise. It'll be safe.
Awesome.
Oh my God, you guys! If you guys want, you should go back and watch a couple of the Shannon episodes where she's been on the show, and she's freaked out all our guests.
I'm just happy she didn't freak me out tonight, so I'm good.
Wow.
I love
Oh,
them.
stop it, Shannon.
Mm.
Oh my God! So Since you volunteered, go for it.
Great. I'm Paul Hebert. I'm the creator and founder of Time Enforcers, which is a video game that makes learning history fun, but it's much more than that. I've actually developed this into a full-fledged education program. So looking to really revolutionize teaching history for kids in schools. And I've developed a program for 5th, 10th graders that will gamify the learning experience for them. So they actually go on missions to learn about the past and actually get involved in trying to figure out what it is that's happened back then, and actually do basic stuff when it comes to the education process. So I'm pretty excited about this. This is a lifelong passion of mine in terms of history, but it really came about because of COVID and what I saw what was going through in terms of virtual learning for kids and how bad it was for both the educators and the students. So really trying to utilize technology, also getting back to basics and having kids actually do journaling, actually writing things down, putting their thoughts in paper, and then actually getting together and collaborate and discuss things that they learn about. So it's this is something I'm getting a lot of good feedback with the educators I've spoken to about it with. And I think it's really important. I really think it ties in not only history, but it ties in STEAM, it ties in mathematics, it ties in science and English language arts as well. So it's like I said, it's a passion of mine, and I'm really happy I'm doing it. So it's
That's
really
good
cool.
for a homeschooling dad like myself.
Yeah, if I could share this really quick, guys. Rafael, you didn't give me an okay on this or not. Is it okay if I share it?
Of course, dude. You don't even have to ask me. That's why Go
Give
for
me
it.
1 sec. So this is I've been working diligently on trying to get this stuff set up, and this is actually the education program. It's called History All Around Us, and it's really meant to be an inclusive study, a way for kids to learn. It's really meant to be for all readers of all levels, and it's really meant to engage kids as they move through it. So it implies critical thinking, collaboration, and they have to do research. It's actually going out and figure out what it is you need to know about the subject matter you're learning about. But I think the biggest thing that I have going for this is what they call student agency, where it's not telling the kids what they need to learn, it's having them find out what it is they want to learn about. So if you're going to study like feudal age Japan and the samurai, you get to choose which subject matter you want to learn about in terms of that time age. So it could be a person, place, or thing, and have them figure out what it is that interests them. And I think that will imply a greater sense of involvement and engagement, and really hopefully a springboard for them to want to learn more. And what I love about it is just it's really trying to tie together all this information so kids are involved and engaged, but it's also making it easier for teachers as well. And so in addition to the whole curriculum program that I put together, I've really done the research on this to make sure that all the material is going to be applied to the state mandates, so that the teachers know that whatever they're teaching abides by whatever is required for them to teach. And it also provides them the tools to track the progress of the students as they move through the course. So it's making it a frictionless process for the teachers to go through and actually, teach the course for them. It's something they'll want to do. It's very competitive now in schools nowadays. Everything's about learning English, and then also mathematics, and I think social sciences and the sciences themselves are being pushed aside. And I think learning the subject matter ties in all those elements, and I think this really makes it a great opportunity for this. And there was one quote that I found. It's on this piece here that I did some research, and I just go down to the last page, show you really quick, but this really ties up everything. This philosopher from 4th century BC said, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn." Yeah. And I think that really speaks volumes to what it is it means to be engaged, and for kids to get involved and actually take away any kind of meaningful education is giving them the hands-on way that they can do the research, learn what they need to do, and then hopefully go on and do other things, which is ultimately the goal with this. So that's what makes me excited about this.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm a big history buff, so one of the reasons I love what Paul does and all the stuff he's doing, and I owe my writing to history teachers, not English teachers. And I love saying that because one English teacher told me I would never be a writer, and I lived to prove him wrong.
Same.
Not
Yeah.
this English teacher.
Same here.
So, and I always give the credit to my history teachers because they were amazing storytellers, and they were the reasons why I loved history so much. And it's funny. It's a funny thing why. And folks, again, with you have the power. Don't let them tell you what your history is. See what your history is. Don't let them tell you what you want to do. Do what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, the more I find out with this stuff, I'm amazed. I'm not a historian. I have a passion for it. But the more research I do on things, it's just incredible. And I see what they, pass on TV for quote unquote history. And it's like, oh, you got to be kidding me. This is just a romanticized docudrama, to get ratings. It's really, really sad in a way because you don't need to do that. I mean, there's so much happening just with real life. You don't need to jazz it up with any kind of messaging. It's not required, so.
It's a funny thing when you're living history.
Yeah.
And Yummy says, just a little bit of soul as a treat. Shannon, do you understand?
Yes. A tiny bit.
Nice.
Yeah, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all over the place at Time Enforcers. It's real easy. It's the same across all the platforms, YouTube. And the game's for sale on all the app stores, PC and Mac for download. You can get it by going to timeenforcers.com/get.
All right.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So much fun to have, folks. Believe me, it is amazing. Go check it out. It's $2 to buy the game. Go buy the
It's $2. You spend more on a donut for God's sake.
Exactly.
You do spend more on a donut nowadays.
Yeah.
I think one donut now is almost like $3.
It's $2.89 at Dunkin' Donuts. It's like, forget
$5. We got a gourmet donut, $5 at least.
I like jelly donuts.
Oh, I love jelly donuts.
And
My
don't
daughter
stop.
loves jelly donuts.
The best ones are at Stop and Shop. There was the Pack Z. They're 4 donuts for $5, and they're gonna be the best donuts ever. It's so good.
See, folks, we'll give you everything: donuts, geekdoms, TV, film work, and these guys are all great. We're gonna have them back on again because we have a lot more to talk about when it comes to all this beautiful stuff that indie creators do, Hollywood does. This is like the tip of the iceberg for the conversation. We covered a lot, and it's funny, but we haven't covered enough.
We should talk more about donuts and indie.
Oh,
films. How it all works together.
Dude, well,
Craft services.
I was about to say that donuts is the heart of the business because you always get them at craft services.
Yes.
And I have to give props to the craft services because they are amazing, folks.
That is true.
All right, folks, on this show, when it's time to go, I press a button and this happens.